Narendra Modi is done with the first budget session of his third-term government. For the first time in over a decade, the BJP has lost its majority, but the National Democratic Front stands strong. In this backdrop comes possibly the Saffron Party's biggest parliamentary challenge so far. Forget the abrogation of Article 370. Forget the Women's Reservation Bill. Forget it all. Because here are two words we rarely hear for bills the BJP-led NDA has moved in the past 10 years. JPC and withdrawn.
जो नया ब्रॉडकास्ट बिल लेकर के आई थी उसको विड्रॉ कर रही है।
सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। सम्मति आई, अपने पूरे देश में इसका विरोध था।
You might wonder, since all those other legislations were landmark, what makes these two bills so challenging? They are no flashy abrogations and citizenship bills, but are still very important. The Waqf Amendments proposed by the government sparked a huge row, and the bill has been sent to a Joint Parliamentary Committee. The broadcasting bill gets more interesting. A withdrawal of the latest draft by the Modi government has put this contentious legislation under lens. The drama is around a reported draft of the broadcasting bill that was sent to some industry stakeholders. The contents of the draft were alarming enough that concerns were flagged. Pawan Khera of the Congress described it as a direct threat to Indian democracy. The withdrawal means another bill tabled in the first Parliament session of Modi 3.0 was delayed after the Waqf Amendments were sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee. So what is this new broadcasting bill and why should you care?
आप इंडिपेंडेंट वॉइस को खत्म करना चाहते हैं। आप चाहते हैं कि पूरा का पूरा इकोसिस्टम आपका बाजा बजाता रहे। ये काम नहीं होता है ब्रॉडकास्टर्स का। The Broadcasting Services Regulation Bill has been drafted by India's Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to replace the Television Network Act of 1995. An earlier draft was released in November 2023, but was put on hold then as well. At the time, the centre had decided to include provisions to regulate OTT content as well. It made sense. The TV Act of 1995 was passed at a time when the internet was still being explored. In an era where a huge amount of information is consumed through the World Wide Web, a new law was required. A so-called secret draft of the broadcasting bill was shared with industry stakeholders, as per reports, sometime in late July. The draft for consultation reportedly proposed sweeping changes, a lot of which ran into criticisms. अगर आपने इसको वापस लिया है, तो ठंडे बस्ते में डालिए और इस तरह की कोई भी प्रवृत्ति अगर अंदर आए ना, उसको दबा दीजिए।
Reports suggest the centre tried including social media accounts and online content creators in the ambit of regulations. Concerns over freedom of speech were raised. There were also differences reported in the 2023 and 2024 drafts when it came to crucial definitions. For instance, news and current affairs were clearly defined in the earlier version made public. However, the new version reportedly has a separate category for digital news creators. Experts believe this could pave the way for regulation of smaller, independent content creators. Reports say the latest draft proposed mandating independent creators to register themselves with the Ministry of Broadcasting through intimation. These creators then would have to strive to create a diverse content evaluation committee from among themselves. However, the draft itself has been trashed now. The Indian government has provided till October 15th for public suggestions and consultations. It is interesting to note that in its tweet, Confirming the withdrawal, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting made no mention to the 2024 draft, instead just referring to the draft bill placed in public domain on the 10th of November 2023.